Hi, everybody. This is Joe from PrepAgent. Sorry I'm a few minutes late here, but let's get ready to go. If you can hear me, everybody give me a thumbs up, just like usual. Seems like we have a lot of returning people these days, so everybody should know the routine at this point. Okay, here we go. Which of the following would be found in a business office? A, a contingency. B, a trade fixture. C, a fixture. D, an easement. What do you guys think? Okay, it looks like we got B. It's an easy one. So because that's super easy, real quick, everybody tell me what's a fixture? Who could tell me what a fixture is? What is a fixture? Okay, a fixture is something that's attached to real property. What's our test to know if something's a fixture? Who knows? What is the test to see if something's a fixture or not? Maria, good. What does Maria stand for? Who knows what Maria stands for? Did you write that in? Method, adaptability, relationship, intention, and agreement. Good. Excellent. What's a trade fixture? Who knows what a trade fixture is? The trade fixture something goes with a business. Is a trade fixture real or personal property? What do you guys think? Is a trade fixture real or personal property? Personal property. Good. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Good job, guys. That was like a speed round of information there, which you guys did great. The Federal Truth in Lending Law, Regulation Z, gives the borrower a 3-day right of rescission when the loan is A, an FHA or VA loan to purchase a single-family owner-occupied residence. B, a purchase money loan secured by a deed of trust on commercial property. C, a conventional purchase money loan secured by a deed of trust on residential property. D, a loan secured by a second deed of trust on owner-occupied single-family residence when the money is borrowed subsequent to the purchase. Okay, a lot of you guys going with D. Good. Do we have any new people here today? If this is your first time here today, right, first time. I see a lot of returning people. I want to know if we got any first-time people here today. How many first-timers are with us? All right, we got one first-timer. That's it. Oh, need to get more people here. Okay, move right along. Welcome, Grant. Okay, which of the following loans would be most likely to qualify for FHA insurance? A, a loan to purchase a farm. B, a loan to buy farm equipment. C, a loan to purchase 1 to 4 units of residential rental property. or D, a loan to buy a small business? And the answer is C. Always stick with a residential property. And thanks for asking about my mom's birthday. It was great. She did what she loves to do, which is order food and ask the waitress a million questions, eat cake, and then watch her favorite soap opera. Okay, moving right along. Okay. In making a new real estate loans, institutional lenders often charge a fee for expenses incurred for such items as document preparation and related work. The fee charged is often a percentage of the face amount of the loan and is referred to on the borrower's closing statement. A, loan discount fee. B, prepayment fee. C, mortgage loan broker's fee. D, loan origination fee. What do you guys think? And the answer is D, loan origination fee. Good job, everybody. Quick, what is ad valorem Latin for? Who knows? Quick, surprise question. Catching you guys all off guard. Ad valorem. That is Latin for what? According to value. Good. Whew, surprised you guys, right? Okay, the term security interest is best defined as A, the interest payments on a conventional loan. B, the use of stocks and bonds or other securities as collateral for a loan against real property. C, the creditor's interest in the debtor's property. D, the interest on an uninsured loan. Excuse me, insured mortgage. My bad. And the answer is C. Good. Creditor's interest in the debtor's property. Nice job, everybody. Ready, set, 1031 exchange. How many days do you have to identify a property and how many days do you have to close the deal? Boom. Who knows it? 1031 tax deferred exchange. How many days do you have to identify the property? How many days to close the deal? Ooh, Lori Holcomb is the first one to get it right. Good job, Lori. Lori, I know we don't see you, but I hope you're giving yourself a big high five on number one sign. 45 days to identify, 180 to close the deal. Nice job, Lori. Ric Flair, woo! Okay, moving right along. When making a loan, amortization tables are used in order to determine the A, interest rate, B, monthly payments, C, APR, D, term of the loan. The answer is B, monthly payment, amortization tables. All right, they show the monthly payment. What is negative amortization? Negative amortization. Who knows? Negative amortization. Okay, it means your debt goes up. Jimmy, I'm not sure exactly what you mean, how to use an amortization chart. I'm not sure if that applies to everybody. So what I recommend, send me a message to the Facebook page, a little more detail what you're talking about. I'll look it over and I'm happy to see what I could do. But just off the top of my head, I'm not exactly sure what to prepare based on what you're asking. But I'm happy to explore it more with you. So just send me a private message and then we'll go from there. Okay, so negative amortization, your payments do not cover the interest. The monthly payment on a mortgage loan is by statute considered late when received by the lender. A, 10 days after the due date. B, more than 10 days after the due date. C, 3 days after the due date. D, 5 days after the due date. And the answer is B. Good job, everybody. In deciding whether or not to make a specific home loan, a lender would consider which of the following factors is most important. A, the general economic outlook. B, the availability of mortgage funds. C, federal and state law. D, the degree of risk. And the answer is D, the degree of risk. Good. It's all about risk. Okay. Which loan is the higher risk, the first loan or the second? What do you guys think? Which loan has the higher risk, the first or the second? So which one has the higher interest rate, the first or the second? Why does the second loan have that higher interest rate? Why is it a higher risk, in other words? So who knows? What is the reasoning why the second loan is a larger risk and has a higher interest rate? Okay, because it's less security. And what I'm looking for in this is they get paid back second. You paid off the first loan first, and then the second loan gets paid back. So therefore, it's bigger risk because if there's not enough money to pay off the first, whatever money you have will go towards that first loan, and the second loan is kind of left holding the bag. Oh, Madison, you said it as I was explaining it. So I'll give you credit that you knew it before I explained anything. So nice job, Madison. Lenders know that the lower loan to value ratio, the higher the A, equity, B, appraised value, C, probability of default, or D, amount loaned. Okay, equity, good. What is equity? Who knows what equity is? Who knows what equity is? Jeremy, make sure you have it set to HD in your settings. Yes, it's your interest in the property above and beyond all liens against it. Okay, it's your interest in the property above and beyond all liens against it. What is equitable title? Equitable title. Equitable title. It's the right to possess and it's the right to possess and something else. And the right to gain equity, hence the word equitable title. It's the right to possess, and you get to benefit from any earned equity. The person with legal title does not gain equity. So if you have legal title, what do you have the right to do? Who knows? So if you have legal title, what do you have the right to do? Anybody know? You have the right to sell, but when you do sell it, Any equity that is gained from that property is not yours. That is to the benefit of the person with equitable title. If everybody's got that, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you understood that. All right, Jeremy, go into the settings and change it to HD. I forget exactly what it is. Does anybody else know who's in these webinars before? We always change it to, I think it's HD, and there's a setting there. When you go to the settings, you'll see. 720, thank you, Jimmy. Excellent. 720 HD. Hey, Diane asked me, what's an example of someone with legal title? The lender. That's a great question, Diane. Thank you for asking. So, an example of someone with legal title. So, my first answer, it depends if you are using a mortgage or a trust deed. Okay. Who knows why it depends if you're using a mortgage or a trust deed? Anybody? So, Dan's question is, what is an example of someone with legal title? HD is high definition. Who knows why it matters if you're using a trust deed or a mortgage? Okay, so a trust deed is a three-party system. A mortgage is two. Who is the mortgagor or the trustor? Trustor and mortgagor, who is that person? Who is the trustor or mortgagor? Who are they? That person with the OR, who are they? They're the borrower. Good. They're the borrower. Okay. They are not the bank. They're the borrower because they're giving something. Who knows what they're giving? So why do they have that OR in front of their name? What are they giving? What do you guys think? What are they giving? Good. They're giving that pledge, the pledge of the property, the promissory notes, the security collateral, whatever you want to call it. They're giving that thing that says, if I don't pay, you could take that property. Okay. It's not a death pledge anymore. It was like hundreds of years ago. I mean, now if you don't pay, you're not going to die. They'll just take your property. But that was the origins of the word. Okay. So now the trustor, okay, or the mortgagor, they give. The mortgagee and the trustee receives. They receive. So what do they receive? So the mortgagee and trustee, what do they receive? Anybody know? So they're going to receive that legal title to answer Diane's question. A right to sell. They have the right to sell if they don't pay it back. Now, more towards Diane's question, who are those people? Okay. So the mortgagee typically is the bank. All right. Or the lender. I should say lender. Doesn't, I mean, you and I could be a mortgagee. Okay. They have the right to sell as a legal title. The trustee has legal title. Now, here's the difference. The trustee is not the lender. The trustee is a neutral middleman. So the trustee, you also have the beneficiary. Okay? You have the beneficiary. So in a trustee, there's three parties. There's a trustor, trustee, and beneficiary. In a mortgage, it's just the mortgagor and mortgagee. Okay? The only difference in a trust deed, there's that third party that receives all the instruments like legal title and has the ability to reconvey the property or conduct a foreclosure or whatnot. The mortgage is just the mortgagor and mortgagee. Does that help? If that helps, give me a high five. I don't know how you write that on your keyboard, but I'm pretty sure there's an emoji for that. Okay, move right along. To answer Diane's question, yes, the beneficiary is the lender, but they don't hold legal title. The trustee holds that on their behalf. Okay. Which lender is the major source of junior loans negotiated today? A, private lenders, B, insurance companies, C, Federal Land Bank, or D, commercial banks? And the answer is A, private lenders. Good job, guys. What state is everybody in? Everybody write what state they're in really quick. Jimmy wrote, how much discount point? A point is 1% of the loan amount. Okay, what state are you in? Everybody write super quick. California, Illinois, Florida, P. Is that Pennsylvania I'm going to go with? Arizona, Indiana, California, New York, Colorado, California in the house, Georgia, South Carolina, Los Angeles. So much traffic in Los Angeles. My sister lives there. Ugh. Takes like 3 hours to go get an ice cream. All right, move right along. The Federal Reserve Board increases cash reserve requirements to A, sell bonds, B, decrease loan activity, C, increase loan activity, D, raise taxes. Okay, and the answer is B. Imagine they're putting reserves. They're reserving it. They're not letting you lend out. It's like they're holding it back. So it decreases loan activity. Okay? It's one of the ways they make sure the money maintains value. Okay, moving right along. When considering portfolio risk management, the lender needs to be concerned with which of the following? A, reserves, B, liquidity, C, diversification, or D, reserves, diversification, liquidity. All of the above, pretty much. Who here, whenever you're not sure and you see all of the above as the option, you always go with all of the above? You're just like, that sounds great. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to go with all of the above. How many people do that? Sometimes I see a big hand up. If you do that, from my working on this for 15 years now, about 80% of the time, you'll be right. 80% of the time, all of the above is the answer. So I'm not saying always circle all the above. Don't do that. But if you're not sure, it's a fantastic option. Okay? So I'm not saying always go with all the above. So don't just be like, oh, all the above, I'm circling because that's what Joe said. No, 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 no. But I am saying if you're confused and you're struggling, it's a fine option to go with. But you guys promise you'll actually read the question. You won't just bubble in everything that says all of the above. Everybody say, I promise. Everybody write, I promise. Okay, moving right along. An investor paid $300,000 for an apartment building, making a $75,000 cash down payment. 1 year later, the property increased 10% in value. This resulted in $30,000 or 40% gain on the $75,000 equity. This is an example of A, none of the other options are correct. B, plottage. C, leverage. D, highest and best use. Okay, the answer is C. Now, just like I said, all of the above, 80% of the time with the answer. The opposite is true for none of the above, okay? So basically, this one's none of the above, that first option, right? We just have it phrased that way because our answers are randomized. So I'm not saying the answer is not none of the above, but you better be real sure when you circle that, okay? Just like with all the above, more than likely it is the answer. With none of the above, more than likely it's not the answer. But that does not always mean avoid none of the above. Do you guys remember my rule for words like always and never? Who remembers that? Everybody say me if you remember the rule about always and never. So this isn't so much real estate information. This is more test taking exam strategy because I do want you guys to pass. So when you see words like always and never, what do you guys feel on your exam? Good job, Angelica. Nice job. Feel scared. When you see always and never, you should be like, that's a little shady. Okay. Now, John, you just broke the rule if you say never go with absolutes because you use the word never. So almost always, you don't want to go with absolutes. There are times where it never comes up, but more often than not, the absolutes are scary words. Okay. You prefer words like sometimes, usually, almost. Those are much more comfortable. Okay. So you'll see that on your exam. All right. So some test taking strategies for you guys. Would you guys mind if we talk 2 minutes for test taking strategies before we go on to the next question? Is that okay? Or would you guys rather me just go on to the next question? If you like test taking strategy, say, Joe, give me 2 minutes of strategy. Or for test taking questions, say questions. Bring the heat. Okay. You enter the exam, you're feeling a little nervous, right? You're sweating, you're looking around the room, you're seeing if there's anybody who looks more insecure than you, correct? You sit down, you see the scary lady in the front, she seems overly intense, and you feel like this is not her first choice in her position in life, right? That's what happens, correct? That's when you first walk in the exam room. You're looking around, everybody's looking at you, you're looking at them, you're sweating, and you're hating that lady in the front of the room who seems unnecessarily mean to you. Okay, so you get a piece of paper. What I'd like you guys to do, and try this now. If you have a piece of paper with you, write it down right now. Okay, you're going to make 3 columns. Make 3 columns on that piece of paper. Okay. What you're going to do is go through the exam first. Now, you don't have to do this strategy, but it worked really well for me, and I'm not a good test taker. One of the reasons I'm good at teaching this is because I had to, for myself, figure out how to really simplify this. This did not come easy to me. That's why I'm able to explain this stuff, because I was you guys for a long time. You guys who this did not come easy to. So you go in the room, you make your piece of paper, okay? You go through the exam, and you immediately answer the ones that were super easy, like real property, immovable. Okay, done, right? Real property, immovable. Okay, thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. Other ones that are easy to fill out. Hopefully at that point, let's just say, for example, you got 25% of them done. You always go with your first impulse. Everybody understand? Always go with your first impulse. So if you see it, write it down. As you're going through the exam, you're recording your first impulse. Now, here's what I mean. In the first ones where you're absolutely sure, fill it out right then and there. The rest of them, you're going to put in one of the 3 columns. If you believe it's B, for example, but you're not totally sure, but you're pretty sure, you put it in that first column. So you'd have like number 5B, number 8C, number 23D, whatever it may be. If you're really unsure, you put it in the second column. So the second column, you have 32D, 43B, whatever it may be. So the first column, you're kind of sure, but not totally sure. In the second column, you're really unsure. What do you think the third column is for? What do you guys think? What do you think that third column is for? So the ones you absolutely know you already filled out. That first column is for ones where you're pretty sure but not totally sure. That second column is ones you're kind of sure, but you're really pretty insecure about it. That last column, you have no idea. It might as well be Greek. Anybody here speak Greek? I don't think so. If you do, this doesn't apply to you. Okay? For the rest of us, it might as well be Greek. You have no clue. Okay? So now you have it all organized. Remember, a bunch of them are already answered. So now you go back and you do the first column first, the second column second, and the last column last. And remember, you recorded your first impulse. That first column, you wrote 3B, for example. You look at it again, you're like, yeah, all right, B. And unless you find information that really contradicts that first impulse, you go with that first impulse. Okay? So you do the ones in that first column. And then you do the ones in that second column. And then if you're doing the ones in that last column, but you're running out of time and you have to guess, or you run out of energy, there's no time, you're mentally drained and just so stressed, and you're just filling out the bubbles, well, wasn't it going to be a guess anyway? Because the reason they're in that column, because you had no idea. Okay, does that make sense? So basically what I'm trying to do is get you guys to spend the most information with the ones you have the most chance of getting correct. I said that wrong, excuse me. I want you spending the most time with the ones you have the most chance of getting correct. I do not want you guys spending a ton of time on ones that you're probably going to get wrong anyway. Okay? And somebody said do the math problem last if you guys have math on your exam. If math is super easy for you, if you're one of these people who could just bang out math like it's nothing, go for it. I'm just saying the things that are most difficult, do at the end. I know it sounds weird because you're like, well, if it's the most difficult, won't I need the most energy? Won't I need the most attention? Well, you got to remember, you don't need 100% to get your real estate license. So you got to be strategic. You got to pick the soft points. Pick the points you're most strong, go after that. All right, so that's what I want you guys to do. Okay. Was that helpful? I hope that was helpful to you guys. Was that helpful? But that's how I did it. That's how I went through the exam. And remember, if you get some of those last ones, don't worry about it. You know what they call the person in the room who got the worst passing score on the real estate exam? Who knows? What do they call the person who got the lowest passing score on the real estate exam? The person who just barely passed. They have a word for that person. They call it a real estate agent. Thanks, Diane. Exactly. Meaning nobody cares if you got the worst score as long as it's a passing score. Okay? Or a broker, depending where you're at. I got that from that expression, who graduated last from dental school? What do you call them? You say a dentist. Okay, next question. Back to the questions. An acceleration clause is inserted into a note that is otherwise negotiable. Adding this clause is A, makes the note non-negotiable. B, does not limit the negotiability of the note. C, is required to be negotiated. D, has no effect on the negotiability, but is also of no benefit to the holder of the note. Okay, D. I remember when I heard that expression. Oh, no, I clicked it wrong. Okay, an acceleration clause does not limit the negotiability of the note. The note is how much you borrow. Okay, you borrowed against the loan. It doesn't affect the security for the debt. Okay, it doesn't accept it. So you got B. So Diane got it right. Diane's the only one who got it right. Nice job, Diane. Okay, because it doesn't affect the security for the debt, meaning that house. The purpose of a release clause in a mortgage is to A, allow the borrower to be released from liability, B, allow the release of some properties upon payment when more than one property is used security for the debt, C, release the lender from liability, D, release the title company from liability. And the answer is B. So now they're saying allow the release of properties from partial payment when more than one property is used as security for the debt. What's that called when you use more than one property as security for the debt? Anybody know? What kind of mortgage is that? Who knows? Blanket mortgage. Nice job, Melissa. Melissa was first. A mortgage clause which states that should the borrower sell the property, the entire balance of her mortgage would be due immediately is known as A, acceleration clause, B, the due on sale clause, C, satisfaction clause, or D, estoppel certificate. And the first one to get this one right was Diane. Everybody say, nice job, Diane. Diane got it first. Give credit where credit's due, folks. Nice job, Diane. Okay. Got that nice, supportive, positive environment here. So, with that being said, we're going to end on that positive note. And I will not be here tomorrow, but we will resume Friday. So, just so everybody knows, we're not doing this tomorrow, but Friday we are. Okay. And, like I told Jeremy before, if you guys have specific questions, send it to me through the group. I am interested in knowing specifically what you guys want to learn about, so then I could put it in these webinars. Obviously, I can't use everything because you guys know I try and stay on material that applies to everybody, no matter what state you're in. So basically, when you guys ask me this stuff, I'm looking for you guys to bring up things that I have not brought up in the webinars before that would be great for everybody to learn about. Okay. So Jessica, a great place to send to me is on Facebook. All right. You could either post in the Facebook group or send me a direct message to our page. It's the page with me with the blue shirt and the hat, and send it there. All right. With that being said, thanks, guys. And I'll see you Friday. I'll see everybody Friday. Talk to you soon.